joining me on another video. I am playing in the dirt today because it's finally time to repot the starts for the pineapples that I have. For the last couple of months, I have not done anything with the pineapples that grew off of the ones that I put outside. Unfortunately for the ones outside, I almost killed them and they're coming back. I will be updating those soon. But I wanted to repot these because the roots were firm. When I tried to wiggle the plant portion, they were very firmly rooted in, and I felt like they would run out of space pretty quickly. So I'm potting them up into one of my larger containers where they're probably going to stay until next year. The roots of the pineapples don't really seem to grow that fast when they're this size, so I don't want to give them too much space, and I also didn't want them to be root bound. After I potted the first one, I felt like the soil that I was using needed to be a bit more aerated, so I added some perlite to the mix and proceeded to plant up the other 5. I originally had 7 of these starts, and from the time period where I had taken them off back in like March or April until now, the one of them did not survive. So what's working best for me with these starts is just potting them and leaving them alone and watering them like once every couple of weeks, trying to mimic the conditions that the pineapple would have been in its natural. So once I've up potted these, I'm leaving them alone again. After all of the harvest for my potatoes were done, this is the final result for the Kyoka and Yukon Gold. And then with my onions, this is the final harvest for all of the red onions. I had the most of these as my preference is for the red onions. And then down here is the final harvest for the shallots and the final harvest for the yellow onions. The yellow onions really didn't do that well. And then after potting, these are the 7 starts that I have left with the lettuce I'm growing and some squash that I've taken off the vine. And speaking of squash, this is a royal golden melon. It should be much bigger, but yellow is the color when it's ripe. So I pulled this off and to cut it off to see what was going on. Was it just a mini one? And it was all white on the inside. It should have pink flesh. So I just wanted to see what was going on and why it was so tiny. But there's nothing I can do with that. And that's really the update on the garden. So I leave you with some views of the chickens. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. As always, thanks for watching.
Go to.
She's not sitting on one, right? Okay. You can put them in my pocket.